Hi everyone, here's a kneeling flow, particularly useful for days where you've maybe been sat at the desk for too long and you just need to stretch out some of those joints that have been held in position. Do consider having a blanket underneath your knees. It makes most of us a bit more comfortable. And either use yoga blocks or have a chair in front of you so that you've got something to support your hands. And we'll begin getting yourself nice and stable, knees a comfortable distance apart. And then rolling up so that you're kneeling up. Give your shoulders a few shrugs here. Let them settle. And then notice the placement of your chin. Check that you're not pushing your head forwards and down, which is a typical response. Instead, look straight ahead. Take a breath here. Let yourself settle. Notice that feeling, hopefully, of balance, and wiggle your feet and knees around if you haven't got there yet. And then inhale, bring both arms out to about shoulder height, palms facing forwards. Take a couple of breaths here. And then bring your hands together and interlace the fingers. Round into the elbows slightly. And then come back to arms out at shoulder height. Now, this is the most difficult thing I'm going to ask you to do. Can you interlace the fingers the other way this time? It will feel strange. Take another breath here. And this time, bring the arms back and bring them round to rest either side of your sacrum. So your hands are sort of on the back of your hips and your elbows can just be relaxed. They'll probably be at about 20 to 4, as it were. Take a few breaths. When you're ready, inhale, and then exhale, grip through the thighs slightly, lift the belly, and start to let the chest slide as well. And you'll make a very tiny camel shape here. We're not trying to do anything dramatic yet. Think more about lifting the belly and bringing the thighs forward and together. Take a breath and relax and come back to normal. Bring your arms down, give them a shake, and then come to your version of all fours, which might be using blocks, might be using a chair. Very gently here, find some small tail wags. And then maybe a few very gentle cat stretches, just moving at your own pace, nothing too dramatic. And only if it suits you today, tuck your toes and think head low, hips high, and find a very small downward dog. Keep it soft, keep those knees bent, heels high, bend through the knees a few times, and then bring those knees back down. Now we're going to play around with kneeling on a lower level, and I would suggest you bring a block or a cushion. You pop it between your ankles. And let's start with a hero pose. So you've got your feet flat, toenails are touching the floor, and you send your bottom back. There we go. If you bring your bottom all the way down to your feet, you'll get a very strong stretch through the ankles. But for a lot of us, that's quite tricky on the knees and the hips as well. So this is a great starting point, particularly if you're just doing this for a 5-minute break in your working day. Take a couple of breaths here. Maybe float the arms up and overhead. Interlace the fingers here. When you're ready, release the hands and pick your bottom up again and walk it out. This time, we're going to bring both blocks forward, find all fours, and very gently slide the right foot back, pressing the toes into the ground to find a calf stretch. Keep looking at the floor just in front of your hands. Think about keeping the belly level to the floor so you're not tilting too much over to the right. And check you've not sent your left hip over to the left. Take a breath, release that leg, roll up, give the hands a turn. You don't want to overdo pressure on the wrist joints here. In fact, if it suits you, make fists for the next option, and then you'll find that you've changed which arm muscles you're using slightly, and you've taken away that pressure on the wrist. So this time we slide the left leg back And we've got a slight bend in the knee, stretching through the foot, heel going backwards. Think about belly button continuing to face the floor. Think about nose continuing to face the floor. And I can really notice that difference with a different hand hold. My arms are responding noticeably different, and I actually find this harder. Take a breath and release the leg, release the hands. Let's go for another camel pose here. You're going to bring your hands back to rest either side of the sacrum again. And you're going to think, push the thighs forwards and together. Lift the belly. Lift, lift, lift the belly until the ribs start to lift. Then the chest, and then look at where the ceiling meets the wall. And now let the shoulders roll back slightly. If it suits you, slide your hands down so they're going to go past your bottom and they're going to hang loosely and relaxed either side of your thighs, palms facing forwards. Take a breath here and then release. Give the hands a shake. And we'll finish with my old favourite screaming toe. Again, I would suggest using a block between your ankles to take some of your weight. This time the toes are tucked. And you'll find you get a stretch through the back of the feet. Take a few breaths there. And then kneel up again. And you are done. I hope that's helped you stretch out, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.